This live coverage is brought to you by the Film Crew.
Hi, welcome Queenstown Arena. Friday night hockey battle between the West Auckland Admirals and the SkyCity Stampede. I'm Dave Dubnick, and with me great competition tonight. One of two games tomorrow night, same time. For those that didn't get tickets tonight, come on down tomorrow night. Ian, what's your take so far of this season?
Kia ora whanau, ko Ian tōku ingoa. Well, thank you very much, Dave. First of all, I just got to say it's fantastic to be down here in Queenstown. What an amazing place to be. I started running out of adjectives actually to describe how beautiful this South Island is, Te Waipunamu. So my take on the season so far, Dave, is this is business time. It's business end of the season. Like these two games, they are the last two games for the Stampede. Whereas the Admirals, they've got 4 games left in this season. They are going to potentially need these points to solidify that second place position for home ice advantage for that semifinal between the second and third place teams in this NZIHL competition. Yep. They want to have that home advantage for those 2 games, because if you don't know, they play 2 games to decide who plays against the top seeded team. And currently, they cannot be caught on 32 points. The SkyCity Stampede are uncatchable. They are in that first spot.
Yep, it's down to the pointy end of the season. We also have some interesting events happening. We'll have a moment of silence, of course, of the Queen's passing. And we also have awards for the 100th game for a number of our players, of the SkyCity Stampede players, which we'll be carrying to you shortly before the original beginning puck drop. I just got to say to the folks that how Ian was so jealous as he's up here in our corporate box. He can't believe that the other rinks don't have this big, warm, comfortable place. And, they're bringing up platters as we speak. So as we go, we'll be informing you of what we're eating and what we're having little beverages as well. So lovely to be here. Queenstown, beautiful day. Yeah, like you said, if you landed today, gorgeous. Last week, not so nice. This week, spectacular. All sorts of things going on. Queenstown locally, skiing, a little bit of hockey, and it's kind of party central.
Tina Pie. Thank you, Dave. You know what? I might just start calling you Pinocchio with some of those tales. I really hope that continues.
This is going to be a long weekend, and if we start like this, come on now. Start like this.
Well, I'm excited. This is going to be a lot of fun.
If we argue much more, we could start a political party. All right, well, we'll see. Just doing the quick check on the goalies, talking to the goalies, last-minute boosts. I had the opportunity to travel up to Auckland with the Wild, the Wakatipu Wild last weekend, the women's Wakatipu team. It was fantastic, hosted well in the Auckland area. It was wonderful. It was even better because we actually came out with a couple wins, so we might talk more about that with later on.
Absolutely. What you might not hear is the starting lineups being announced from both teams, as both teams will be lining up on the respective blue lines to have a moment of silence, 1 minute, to honor the 70 years in the passing of the Queen Elizabeth. Dave, I don't know what you think of when you hear the words Queen Elizabeth II.
Yeah, no, it's a little touching. I mean, coming from another Commonwealth country, you know, it was always there, and I don't know. We'll have another situation, or just another way with Charles.
Yeah, and right now, Mr. Ross Burns is acknowledging Stephen Emston, Cameron True,
and Carson Pratt, Thomas Carson
Pratt for their 100th NZIHL game in this league. That is not a small accomplishment, folks. If you are listening and watching this live broadcast, they are being presented with something quite unique.
It's a print by Ricky out of Otatahi, who's designed this lovely sketch.
So that's something to commemorate this very special night and achievement from all of those three men. 100 games in this league is something to cherish.
Those boys will want to make a good 100th game, though. You know, you don't want to have a messy one.
And as we take a break here, we'll have this minute of silence to honor the passing of the Queen. Fantastic. So, Dave, I don't know about you, but as I asked you before, what I think of when I first hear of the Queen is service, dedication, loyalty, and diligence. All words that come to mind. That woman was amazing. That she worked right into her 90s, and if you can believe it, before she became Queen, she actually was a mechanic, and she went to the Second World War as a mechanic.
Spectacular.
Fun unknown fact there for those listening.
Fantastic. That's the quietest I've ever heard this arena.
Absolutely, you're not wrong there. This place is raucous.
Yeah, and as we know, as a visiting team, it's not a very comfortable place to be playing in, because you're playing against the 5 skaters and goalie, plus hundreds of spectators who are always quite noisy. We're about to have the puck drop. Head referee Tom Becker, linesman Nick Flight, and linesman Ben Rotto. All right, so we're in on the blue line. Tapped out. So for battling against the boards with it, and it taps in. Burns controlling behind his own net, rolls around, and Harrison can't get it out. Henderson loses it to Strayer. Ryan Strayer, who's back. Ryan Strayer, who's been away for a while, and it's great to see him back. He was quite a notable addition against Dunedin last weekend.
Yeah, very steady left-handed defenseman. Looks like he might be playing up front a little bit this evening, so we'll see if he's playing up on a line with Adam Soffer there, as you've got really good matchup here. The best power play against the best penalty kill. So I'm looking forward to seeing if any special teams come into factor here tonight, Dave.
Well, I don't think the Stampede will be having any penalties. They never have penalties, do they?
They are the 3rd penalized team in this league in terms of the 5 teams.
Citron bounces it in, but then it's tapped all the way back to the red line, where Kennedy has it on the red line, fires it over the red line, fires it in and around. Rolls to the point, but not out. Tap back in behind the net, where Freer gathers it up, being dogged heavily. And it's batted around to the other side, where Lachlan Freer takes a tomahawk at it, but doesn't get it out. And Burns starts to rally. Up to Hurley, who can't catch it. It's gathered up Well, Harrop puts it up to the red line. Tries to hit Hart. Hart can't gather it up, and it's on the red line again. Hurley over the blue line. He's got McCog with him. Centering. And Freer can't tap that where it belongs.
Quite a nice feed from McCog, who's quite on a hot streak too. He's got at least 10 goals in this league and leading that charge for the Stampede in terms of the goals. Looking at centering pass. Just going back to the penalties there, Dave, you mentioned Stampede third in the league in penalties against the least penalized team, the West Auckland Admirals.
Stop it. Those are all
these are facts.
Fake news. Fake news.
You can't dispute facts.
Surely the Stampede can't have that many. All right, battling McLeish with it behind the net. Tapped up and over the blue line. True fires it in and misaims, and icing is the call. Are we going to start a scrap already? And gosh,
it's a good thing there's cameramen between us, because we're going to hit you with some side facts here too. Like
I'm not getting off this lazy boy.
I see number 2, Bertie Haynes. I got to acknowledge Bert, one of the best players I've ever played with, leadership-wise. The man is incredible. He's got the highest shooting percentage in this whole league. He's taken 1 shot, and he scored.
Here we go. Van Sickle marches it in on its own. Can't quite complete as it's turned around. Marched out by Daigle. Daigle over the blue line. Shot. Tapped wide. And kept in. Trapped up in Freer's pads, who fires it up. And picked up by Harrison. Harrison tries to cut in. And Chaba just knocks it away from him at the last minute. And Admirals sorting themselves out to the neutral zone, and it's tapped back in where Daigle picks it up, drags it behind, letting the boys wheel out, trying to set something up. And it's back to Daigle again.
Stampede quite passive here in their forecheck, playing a 1-3-1.
And it's tapped in behind Brooks, but not out. And it's on the red line now. Rolls back in, and Burns gathers it up and puts it off the boards to Strayer. Over to Freer. Freer taps it up to Sofer. And Sofer kind of just loses it, and it rolls onto Chaba's glove.
I'm not sure about you, Dave, but a little bit of nerves, possibly a little bit of a hesitant start by both teams here. Not really anything super dominant. Both teams looking at what are they going to play, how are they going to move up. A lot of cat and mouse at the moment, so we'll see what plays develop to have this game open right up.
Shot from Freer, wide. And it's bounced onto the blue line where Cole puts onto Amston's stick, and it rolls to the red line. Brooks forced behind his own net to stop the puck from rolling around as Amston takes it to Freer. Freer doesn't collect, and Kennedy ends up with it on his stick on the red line. He fires it back in. Amston, Cole. And batted around. Lots of neutral zone stuff here. Great work. Great march there. And the final shot, though, gloved nicely by Joel.
That's Joel Hasselman, who
yeah.
he's a very tall man and standing in that crease. He's about 6'5", 110 kilos. He is a huge unit stopping that puck.
Quick glove. Railed around to Burns. Burns taps it up. Harp over the blue line. Shot. Hasselman, blocker save. Bounces behind the net. Van Sickle with it along the boards. Bounces off a pad, but not out. Kept in nicely. Chalice did a great job there of keeping that puck in, and finally it's knocked out. Where Van Sickle picks it up on the blue line. Railed off the puck. Rolls behind the net. And Sickle still pushing hard against the boards, down and up and down, working hard. He's got some help, though. Carson Pratt, and it rolls behind the net where Bert Haynes tries to center, but he can't. Freer, huge shot, way wide. Haynes fires it back in, looking for that line change. Amston on the point, shot, puck, beautiful stop in front, bounces around in front.
Bit of the Stampede's MO. They have lots of traffic in front, trying to take away the eyes of the goaltender with a couple of yellow and blue jerseys standing in front of the Navy jerseys. Quite hard for Chaba to see that puck, so
lots of clutter.
Well there.
Lots of clutter. You're right about them trying to, just like a first round of a boxing match, feeling it out, seeing what's how they're going to play this. Amston. True, on the net from the red line. And it bounces to the boards. Now it's in the corner. Up and out. Where True picks it up on his own blue. Amston drifts behind to the crease. And it's batted to Connor Harrison, who saucers it across the sofa over the red line, fires it in, looking for the change. Strayer lays a hit in the corner. And now Admirals march it up and out. And icing is the call. I don't know. I thought he got a piece of that, but
yeah, the one linesman on the far end indicated that there was a touch, and the other linesman mustn't have seen the communication. So the face-off will go to center ice. And this is probably the lines. Maybe they want to do that. They get the time to drop the puck at center ice. They don't get that very often.
Not very often, no. Selfish. Henry whiffs on a shot off the blue line. It's picked up by Burns. Burns skates it in, cross ice. Hurley center. Oh, beautiful defensive move. Admirals, as the puck rolled into the slot, assistant captain Kennedy just taps it away beautifully. Freer taps it behind the net. And Admirals marching it up and out. Regan marches it up. Knocked off the puck at the last minute as Freer can't collect that on the neutral zone. And it's fired into the stands.
I don't think that was done directly on purpose, as the Admiral defenseman there sent that puck straight into the Stampede bench, as it got the ire of all the Stampede players looking at, what are you doing, Bradley? You don't do that. That's offside in this part.
Yeah.
So we'll watch how that has an effect on this game.
That old chestnut. All right, Steven. And the Admirals march it up. Moses does a nice move at the blue line, taps it in, but then it's tapped all the way out and down the ice for icing on the Stampede. March is down. Face-off will be to the right of Hasselman.
Yeah, that's the first icing call we've seen against the Stampede, so interesting to see how they adjust to the Admirals' pressure as the Admirals enter into their zone. They reacted by just sending the puck down. In a smaller rink like this, you'll notice there will be a few icings, but puck possession proves to be very important in this game as both teams are fighting 4 points.
Shot on, Hasselman. That face-off was to the left of Hasselman. And fired on, looks like another face-off to the left. Up and cleared out, carried back. Step in the neutral zone. Harrop does a great spinorama, but he can't control it. And it rolls all the way back onto Daigle's stick in his own zone. Some movement there, nice movement by the Admirals, marching it in, but they lose it at the last minute. And it rolls to the neutral zone where Van Sickle walks into Daigle and is knocked off the puck. Vesper across to Daigle in their own zone. Daigle Red line, fires it in. Hasselman playing it behind the net, tangled up with one of the Admirals. But it's turned over to Stampede, where Strayer fires one just wide from the red line and then tries to catch his own rebound.
Took an odd bounce, Dave, right off that backboard, so it kind of went off the stanchion and came up almost directly in front of Chaba.
Yeah, dangerous for Chaba there, but that's sort of local knowledge.
Oh, absolutely.
Yep.
I mean, you get a local bounce, that's Queenstown bounce down here, then you know how to play these boards. Use it to your advantage.
If I hit the third nail on the left, I know it'll bounce funny. Face off to the right of Chaba. And the Admirals. Henderson leaves for Edward Jones. Edward Jones over the blue line, fires a shot, forcing Hasselman to gather that up.
Yeah, Flynn Hayward-Jones is one of those very tall, quite apt, smooth skating defensemen from the West Auckland team. As he went from his end all the way through to the Stampede zone. Good confidence to see in a young player.
And Hasselman forced out of his net to cover up quickly. Just a little off balance, perhaps.
So we played almost 10 minutes, just over 9 minutes of hockey here, Dave, and its score is locked at 0-0.
Yeah, 10 minutes, 58 seconds left in this 0-0 game.
It looks like there's going to be a penalty called here. That is an indication of delay of game. So the referee has made that symbol. I haven't seen that often here. Looks like delay of game is the call. Normally there's a warning, but however, it looks like he's issued a penalty to the SkyCity Stampede.
I'm not sure what that was about, but I'm not. Is it Hasselman's?
It looked like Hasselman had the puck. The referee may have said to him, play it. He didn't play it, kept and held onto it.
Maybe
because he was out of the crease as well.
Perhaps, yeah.
And to play that puck behind the crease.
Yeah. Oh, well. Everybody's getting a bit of a breather.
We'll have to double check that. I mean, for those of you watching live, if a goaltender does play the puck behind his net, which I haven't seen, out of that crease area, I don't know if he's allowed to cover it and hold for a face-off. That's probably why he's been penalized. Otherwise, if he let go of the puck, we would play on.
It is Strayer. Heavy pressure on Daigle, but Daigle turns it around over the blue line, over the red line. He's got some speed. Slams on the brakes. Back to the blue line. Tap to the corner. Back to Daigle on the point. Ellis. Back to Daigle. And back to the corner where Harrop puts it to Ellis. Just looking for that, or Henderson looking for Ellis. And Daigle takes that shot through a sea of legs. Cross ice. Ellis one-times it. Huge block, but not out. And Burns scoots. Great. Daigle tries to save it with a body slide, but it rolls out. Once again, Admirals march it in, centering. Henderson picks it up on the close boards. Back to the corner. Henderson on the point now. Big shot, bounce in front. Collected Burns. Back to Henderson, who takes another shot. And
there's a goal, straight in.
That was just.
That was a great screen in front by Regan.
Great screen, yeah. Just.
I don't think Hasselman saw that at all. That puck went.
I think it caught stick.
Might have hit something on the way through. You can check that on the instant replay. I'm not sure if we've got that here. But that is a power play goal to the West Auckland Admirals. As we mentioned earlier, Dave, I had a suspicion if special teams were going to be a factor in this game. And not even just past the halfway mark, the potent West Auckland Admirals hit again. That makes that. They were 9 for 33, having scored on 27.27% of their power play opportunities, which goes up by one just now.
Well, that shows you that was an interesting penalty, and sort of an, I don't know if you call it unnecessary, but just an unusual one, and capitalize on it. So, back into the play. Freer taps it up off the boards, and Hurley picks that up, skates it in, still controlling. Shot, good save by Chaba. Great rebound collection by McCog. But still, Chaba's just standing in there. And it's tapped out to the red line where True takes it. True can't hit Hurley. And it rolls all the way into Stampede area. Kennedy taps it in. Picked up by
Big collision there. Moses lays into Hurley.
Open ice hit. Dangerous. And now the Admirals march it over the blue line. Stopped at the blue line. It's tapped all the way back in where Edward Jones picks it up. Taps it back into the red line. Turned around quickly. Stampede caught on a line change where Admirals. Big slap shot off the glass. And it rolls to the red line where Sofer picks it up. He's got Strayer. Cross ice to Harrison. Harrison dragged down, and there'll be a hooking penalty there. High slot, Connor Harrison.
Yeah, he wasn't alone there, Dave. He was marching through, as you mentioned earlier, with the Admirals the other way. So it's a lot of back and forth game now as that one goal has really opened it up. And good movement by the Stampede with good puck possession. Going down that middle lane, drawing that penalty as the Admirals were forced to put a hook on. Bit of a captain hook.
Yeah, Vesper sitting out for 2 minutes. Here's a chance to test the penalty kill of the Admirals and obviously the power play of the SkyCity Stampede. Big hello to all you people listening. Bex, Eagle Eye.
Stampede have a power play percentage of 25, so they're 1-4, Dave. They score in 1 of every 4 power play opportunities, whereas the Admirals, their penalty killing sitting at 78.95%, close to 80, not quite 80. So every 4 out of 5, they kill off. So again, special teams matchup. We shall see how that impacts on this power play.
And special teams matter. Like this is quite important as we get down to the pointy end of the season. Amston centers himself, takes a shot wide. Burns on the point. Puck bounces around in front, high slot. Finally, Daigle picks it up on the blue line. Daigle, big lead pass. Chalice takes it back into the neutral zone. Edward Jones across the Daigle. Daigle, wide shot, giving the boys a chance for Admirals a few changes. Burns, cross ice to Amston. Amston over the blue line, fires it in where Regan and Freer go at it in the corner. Regan fires it to the blue line. Burns taps it back in. And Regan does a great swing and taps it all the way down the ice. Amston behind his own net. Leaves for Burns. Burns. Blue line. Van Sickle backhands it to the corner. And it bounces up, but not out, where Burns controlling. Tap across to Harrison. Harrison feeds to Hurley in the corner. Hurley boogies it to the point. Shot. Callum Burns.
And a goal.
He makes it look so easy.
What a release by Callum Burns. Gets that point from the middle of the high slot. Just has an unreal release. Traffic in front. Chubba doesn't see it. Top shelf. What a beauty.
Another one with clutter. You know, that clutter in front, creating the whether it's screening or deflection, whatever it is, it's working for both teams at the moment.
Absolutely.
Both power play goals, both clutter in front, both shots from pointish. So, you know, very, very similar tactics.
Both teams know how to score, and especially in a smaller rink. Like, special teams are huge and critical in these games. So
we're
keep watching.
We're looking at 6 minutes, 50 seconds left in this first period, and it's 1-0. True taps it to the blue line. And Ellis to Daigle, cross ice. And it's bouncing around that blue line off his referee linesman skate. And finally Hurley taps it up, but it's caught at the red line. And now Bert Haynes has it over the red line, fires it in. Haynes takes Vesper down, gives him a bit of a shove. And Mitchell Freer with it. Freer spins, fires it in. Daigle behind his own net for the West Auckland Admirals. Coyle takes a shot. Coyle was able to stop that puck from rolling out. Had to really put on the speed. And it seems to be a lot of neutral zone play here.
The game within the game.
Yes, the game within the game. Ellis with it now. Back to Daigle. Daigle over the red line. or over the blue line, fires it in. And Chamberlain knocked off the puck. Strayer ends up with the puck along the boards, and it looked harmless, but it did get some metal on that post, so Treba
taking a short, sharp angle shot, not the best shooting percentage shot to score on, but nevertheless, you miss all the shots you never take.
But
You've probably
boy,
heard that before.
But boy, do they look good.
Look good, and yeah. Very rarely do those go in, Dave. But you can see, I don't know if you've been watching this, but 1-3-1s that the Stampede are playing, letting the Admirals come out of their zone, pressuring them in the neutral, often looking for that turnover.
And trying to close them up in their own, yeah. All right. Puck dropped in the Admirals area, and control. McCog can't get the shot away. And finally, Admirals march it out with Citron. Freer picks that up now, taps it to Hurley, can't gather it up. Puck bouncing around on the blue line. Moses taps it into SkyCity zone, picked up by SkyCity. Lockie Freer over the blue line, takes a shot off an ankle of Kennedy. That's dangerous. Lockie Freer's got a bit of a rifle.
A bit. He's got a cannon.
Yeah.
He can hammer that puck, and that's very brave to step in front of it. I think Kennedy was just trying to get out of the way.
Yeah.
That would be my advice, but man, he took that one off the bottom of the boot of his skate. Chaba doesn't see that rubber at him. Probably pretty happy it didn't hit him.
All right, Carson Pratt facing off for SkyCity Stampede to the left of Chaba. Puck rolling around along the far boards. Freer can't keep it in. Haynes picks it up on his own blue line. Burns across to Freer. Freer feeds Pratt. Carson Pratt on the red line. Taps it up.
A little bit too eager there,
Yeah.
Mr. Haynes. He was looking to catch. Just get over that blue line a little early, get that pass.
What's the hurry, Bert? What's the hurry?
Well, you could see that the Admirals defenders were pushing up, so they're trying to hold that blue line for as long as they can without giving up that quick, fast entry rush.
Chalice taps it up to Harrop on the red line. Cross ice. Shot. Forcing goaltender. Yeah, go ahead.
Hasselman, yeah, he just makes another routine save, Dave. It was, again, not a high percentage shot. It was just another shot to get a shot on net, possibly looking to get a face-off. Again, face-off's another valuable, very important component of the game.
Yeah,
winning them.
Joel's not the kind of guy to leave too many rebounds. The way he gobbles that puck up, if they were hoping for a rebound.
Yeah, he's a goaltender that positionally very strong, and he does not allow rebounds to go out away from him, so he can control that puck quite well, so that it allows his team to have confidence in him, so that he can stop that puck easily, and the defenders just need to box out, and makes it easier anyway.
Yeah. All right, puck rolling around. Here's on the red line. Chalice fires it in. Amston off the glass, where Daigle picks it up on his blue line. Being harassed by Sofer. A little bit of forechecking here now. Cross ice. To Jones. He fires it in, and it just rolls behind the net. Tapped up, and to the red line where Daigle has it. Daigle being harassed again by Sofer. Can't quite hit Vesper. It rolls behind the net. Amson picks that up. Fired it down, and icing is the call.
Really likes to use the glass a lot, the Stampede, to clear the puck out of their zone, which actually is a bit of a luxury here in New Zealand, because the glass in certain rinks doesn't go evenly all the way around like it does here that I can notice. So it makes it much smoother to get that puck out of the zone, whereas other times it would go over and be called delay of game.
Right. So Harrison feeds Ryan Strayer. Strayer muscled off the puck at the last second. Beautiful work by Strayer. Shot in front. Strayer can't get a piece of that. Sofer trying to lay the hit on. Can't. Puck rolls for Ellis. Ellis shot. I don't think that he saw that puck.
That was a bit of a knuckler, because Ellis took a swing at it. He kind of fanned on it, and it got him a rolling, like a wobbling puck. So Hasselman was set for the shot, but that puck actually dipped a little bit on him, and it caught him under the jersey. Being such a large man and a big frame, that jersey caught the puck.
Yeah.
And he was able to squeeze it and hold on. Otherwise, that's going right behind him for a goal.
That was very close. Stampede was very, I think there was a bit of screen action happening too, because the Stampede player was in pursuit, or in front of that shot. Oh, Burns with it. Burns behind the net. Up to Hurley. Hurley, red line. Pops it into the corner.
Interesting call there coming up here, Dave. It's called interference. They're both players with the puck present in that area, and they both collide. So Regan makes a hit on Hurley. Hurley was a willing participant in that play, going for that puck, and it looks like Regan's going to be penalized.
Yeah, but Hurley's not. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's an interesting one. I've had that conversation. Colin McIntosh we've been talking about this in other games. Is it newish?
What do you mean? What do you see? Because what's happened is two players are going for the puck.
Yeah.
And
What does he?
He's made that hit with the puck present, so you are legally allowed to make that hit. If the puck's not there and you hit a player,
That's interference.
that's interference.
I don't know what that call. We'll see if we can find out more about that.
Yeah, we'll ask C-Mac. He has a wealth of knowledge himself.
Back to Burns on the blue line. Burns. Strayer marches centering. Puck bouncing around in front and finally gathered up, but not out. Chalice can't get it out, but then it's tapped up and out, giving the Admirals a well-deserved break. Changing the horses. Feed Freer. McCog to the corner. Still has it behind the net. Around to the far corner. Being harassed by Daigle. And it rails around behind the net where Lockie Freer picks it up. Back to Burns on the point. He's dangerous with that shot. Across to Sofer in the corner. Sofer. Burns moves in off a body and ends up in the far point where Sofer takes that shot. And Chava makes easy catch of that. He obviously had a good line of sight on that.
Yeah, he sees it, he can stop it. And one of the things that might be quite underrated that if you're watching this game live stream, actually, we thank you first of all for doing so, but if you're watching Callum Burns on the SkyCity Stampede, he does so well at maneuvering the puck along the blue line and changing his attack angle, which makes it difficult for defenders to pick him up. So he stops, starts, moves across, gets nice low hard shots, in that case a high one.
Something active.
Very active. So very difficult for the penalty killing team to defend.
Harrison misses that puck as it rolls all the way back. And Joel carries behind the net. Centering pass, shot off the glass. Very good chance for a shorthanded goal there, where the Stampede were a little bit out of sorts. Finally they march it up. Harrison lost it on the blue line. Van Sickle back to Freer. Freer leaves for Sofer. Just a little bit, half a step out of sync, I would say, with 5 seconds left on that penalty. And he's out. Regan's out. Christon on, so it's back to
even strength here.
Even strength.
20 seconds left in this period, Dave. So SkyCity Stampede unsuccessful on that power play.
Yeah.
As you mentioned, you did say that they looked a little bit out of sorts and a little bit of a half second behind. And that's half second is what has punished them, because the Admirals did very well in the penalty kill, actively pursuing that puck. In fact, had a 2-on-1 with Henderson missing the net, but had a golden chance by himself. He probably realized he had a lot of time to shoot that puck, the face-off, back in the Admiral zone.
All right, McCog facing off for the SkyCity Stampede. To the left of Chavez. Quick shot from Burns, off a leg. Keeping that in was so shot, gathered up with 8 seconds left. Lots of stuff going on in front of that net.
As Amston celebrating playing over 100 games in this league, unleashes a cannon from the point. Again, a very tall man, 6'3". Originally from Ototahi, so he was born in Christchurch, and he developed his talents of ice hockey with his Swedish lineage in Sweden. Played in the juniors and the 18s and 20s. Played Division 2 and 4 in Sweden, and also honing his craft down here in the NZIHL with the SkyCity Stampede.
And this will end it. The first period over. It's a 1-all game. Wow. Exciting moments, exciting moments.
So Dave, as we head into this first period intermission, there's a couple of things. Penalties, certainly a factor in this game. Not very many of them. A little bit, as you said, unusual calls, like calls that don't often get made. And what you'll find is these type of games will really kind of set the table for the semifinals and the finals. Because as I said earlier, I referenced game within a game, like finishing checks, face-offs, all those little plays. They're going to be huge for how these games move forward, and if teams are going to really focus on those little things that win hockey games.
Yep,
Special teams is one of them.
Every
Face-off.
shift, every pass, every defensive move, it all adds up. You're absolutely right. Well, we're going to take a break. I'm Dave Dubnik, and with me I have Ian Wanamaker. We'll get back to you in the second period very shortly.
Thanks for joining us. See you soon.
And we're back. Second period here. SkyCity Stampede against the West Auckland Admirals. I see Ian's just finishing his Pinot Noir and crab cakes. How are those crab cakes, Ian?
Oh, mate, delicious.
I know. Big thanks to our sponsors.
Oh,
So the boys have just stepped back on the ice for the second period. Huge battle in that first. Ian, we spoke at the beginning of that period about the testing or the kind of just getting a feel for it all. But man, it kind of amped up a bit.
absolutely. It's these little messages that the Admirals and Stampede want to send to each other if they do end up facing each other in the finals. Like, that is a possibility. Like, I'm not going to say it's a likely possibility because you got to get through at this point in time, the Red Devils. Not sure if the Swarm are going to get up to make a battle for that third position. We shall see how they go against the Thunder in their remaining 2 games.
We haven't even spoken about that whole sort of house of cards that this year has become because of how close the points are. It's sort of still anybody's game in that second place.
Yeah, for second, that's the thing, because the second closest team to the Stampede. Stampede have got 32. Next is the Red Devils on 25. But Canterbury have played 14 games, just like the Stampede, so Admirals 4 to go.
Good thing you're a mathematician. All right, there you go. Collects, fires it in. Big lead pass. Strayer can't collect it. And there you go, over the red line, fires it on the mark. Off the pads and into the corner. Connor Harrison can't control it. It rolls back in behind Joel Hasselman. Sofer picks it up, taps it off the boards to Strayer.
Bit of a dangerous play there, Dave. I don't know if you caught that on that live stream. Vesper punishing hit from behind to Callum Burns directly from the back. He had his back turned and he saw the numbers. He still hit him. That is not allowed. The referee has indicated that will be a penalty, possibly 5 in a game here.
I'm seeing a bit of blood on the ice. Not that I'm looking, but yeah.
Yeah, again, we hope that he's going to be all right. That's Burns. Definitely got cut. Oh, he has definitely been opened up under that left eye. He is dripping down. So Vesper taking a bit of a charge, well, not a charge, but definitely a hit from the back. And that's something we really want to advise against. Anybody that's watching, any young players watching these games, please, if you see someone's back and their numbers, don't hit them from that back area because it's dangerous going into the boards. I've been a victim myself. I know what that's like. It is not a good experience. We want the game to be safe. And
good hits are nice. Good hits are proper, but that's definitely not one of them. I think that'll be the funny thing is we have Harrison McCog, who's not here, who normally plays. We have Max McCog, and we have Dr. McCog taking care of the Callum Burns on the bench.
Yeah, it looks like he's going to need some stitches too, Dave. I've got a direct view of what they're looking at. It's to his left eye, large amount of swelling and blood dripping down a little bit from there as he's getting some attention. But he will definitely be looking like he'll be out of action for the remainder of this period, possibly the game.
We'll see. I have seen Dr. McCog's handiwork quite quickly. In fact, I've received some of Dr. McCog's on-ice handiwork in my day, so
So it does have a 5-minute penalty up on the clock. The penalty for 33 West Auckland, that's Vesper. He may also be ejected from this game. I can't see if he's in the penalty box.
Yeah,
or
he's in the box.
He's in the box, so he may be serving a total of 15 minutes. Any check from behind like that, when it's drawing blood and a dangerous hit, should be 5 and a game, or 5 and 10 minutes. We shall see if the referees award him any further play.
That's unfortunate because you'd hate for the character of the game to change because of that. And, well, we'll see. Puck will be dropped to the left of Cheva. 19:26, so this is very, very early in the second period when we had that heavy hit to Callum Burns. Vespa sitting in the box. Sofer keeping it in, and he just can't as Daigle harasses him, and it's fired down where Amston picks it up. Amston carries, Harrop pressuring. McCog now over the blue line. McCog carries behind the net. Sofer with it. Adam Sofer to the corner where McCog is. McCog, Sofer, back to McCog. Cross ice to Amston. He's got Strayer there on the boards. Ryan Strayer off a pad to the corner where behind the net McCog has it. Back to the blue line. Stephen Amston carries to the point. And Strayer. He has McCog with him, centering, can't. And it bounces off a leg, but gathered up by Lockie Freer. The other thing is able to, scores! That was tricky. That narrow shot off a skate.
As Stampede cash in on this long 5-minute penalty to the Admirals. Strayer comes up from behind the net, takes a nice shot. Fools Chaba thinking he was going to go around behind the net, but no, he popped back out in front. Low, hard shot, difficult to track, in the net.
Mispositioned foot that created that bounce. I think it came
pad.
off his skate, yeah. Unlucky for Chaba, but I don't know if it was a centering pass or it was an attempt to bounce it off that skate, but it was well done. So that puts it 2-1.
Good positioning of that shot to go off that inside pad.
2-1.
And that power play will continue, so they will be up again, 5 men to 4, as it is a 5-minute major penalty.
All right, Amston lead to Hurley. Hurley pushed off the puck by Regan, and it's fired down the ice nicely. Ellis gives chase on Amston. Leaves for Van Sickle. Van Sickle starts to move it up onto the blue line. Cross ice, can't quite hits Connor Harrison with a bounce off the boards. Taken down badly.
Now there we go, Dave. So again, unfortunate that Harrison's gone down here, but from what we can see, it was a legal check right to his chest. He just went down as he went into the boards.
I think it might be a shoulder, yeah. He's but 17 minutes, 39 seconds left.
It's over 3 minutes still remaining in that major penalty.
What this adds up to, though, is two very valuable Stampede players who are not skating at the
able
moment.
to contribute. Yeah, I'm not sure if Connor's had shoulder injuries in the past, but again, maybe he has. I've been witness to that too. When he played on the Iceplex. Anyway, both players skating at pace, and he received that hit at pace and went right into those boards. So he is gingerly going off to the bench, possibly to receive some more attention. But the doctor is quite busy at the moment.
Dr. Richard McCog, yes, he's got a lineup, much like every other waiting room in New Zealand at the moment. Puck drop, and Freer with it on the blue line. Across to Strayer, loses it to Sofer. Sofer taps it in, and it bounces off a body and over the boards.
So that puck's taking a deflection into the Stampede. That's not the first time, that's the second time again. But the lower boards that's in this rink, that puck does travel a little bit out of the rink at times. But
to be fair, I don't mind those lower boards because when I am playing, I can get over them.
A little bit of help.
Yeah, every little bit helps. Yep. Freer with it now in the neutral zone. Strayer on the red line. Off a skate, and it bounces to the corner. Daigle fires it up and rails it all the way around, burning up more valuable seconds of that 5-minute major to Vesper. Freer off the boards, lead past his brother Lockie. Lockie on the hash marks into the corner. And there's another penalty.
It looks like it's going to be called boarding. Again, be great to see this on the replay. He did do a little bit of a spin there. Yeah, that is for sure. But you are allowed to engage. That's hockey. Hockey's a physical game. You can contact one another. But there was it looked like a clean check, but Lockie just went down a little bit more. Possible embellishment. I don't want to say embellishment down here because I can get in a lot of trouble.
Oh, but them's fighting words here.
Hey, well, they're already up by a man, so this is going to be a 5-on-3 power play. So a lot of time and space to control that and possibly go up by 2 here.
That's only
in the second frame,
and that's only a 2-minute. So good to see. Thanks for all those messages from you people watching. Bex probably sitting at home, nice, warm by the fire. Glenn, big hello. Popcorn and soda pop. Nigel watching.
Shot saved by Chaba.
Great work by Chaba, bouncing puck. And it rolls out to the blue line where Sofer collects it. Cross to Amston, back to Sofer, taps it up to the blue line, loses it on the blue line, but it's kept in by McCog, just. Finally gathered up by Lockie Freer. Sofer on the point, cross ice to Amston, moving in. It shouldn't take this long to get into the zone with 5-on-3, but they're finally there. Marching it around, cross ice, bouncing puck where Sofer collects it to the corner. McCog back to Sofer, bouncing puck. Amston carries to the boards like a tic-tac-toe game, Ian.
Somebody's got to shoot it. I was going to say someone's going to get in that shooting lane.
Chalice does a great defensive move. And the puck is saved by Joel Hasselman and then carried all the way back down the ice. And Harrop picks it up in his own zone. Harrop hits Regan, or just about hits Regan. And Van Sickle can't collect it, but taps it into Admiral zone, and they just fire it back out. Beautiful penalty kill here by Admirals. Van Sickle glides to the middle. Strayer back to the point. Burns is back out there. Cullum Burns. And Harrison. Burns takes that shot. Puck bounces in the middle and cleared away. Hasselman fires it all the way to the red line where Connor Harrison collects it. Over the shot, off a leg. Puck bounces behind the net. No time left in that penalty where Daigle steps out and dances past Burns. Takes that shot. Puck rails off the glass, rolls all the way down into his own zone. Kennedy fires it down. Henderson tries to collect it. And Henderson drags it all the way back into his own zone, fires it back on. Connor Harrison's out there as well, so those injuries couldn't have been too bad if both those players are back out. Burns to the corner. Huge pressure from this Admirals team. Even strength now. Ellis over the blue line. Shot. Hasselman saves that. Bounces to the corner. Admirals controlling behind the net. Dangerous positioning. Puck rolls in front, and Freer taps it down the ice, which happens to be right on the stick of Chava, so no icing. Daigle. Lead pass, lost, kept in by Carson Pratt, and Freer takes a shot. Rolls off onto Amston's stick in the neutral zone. Amston cross to True. Offside's the call. That was a long...
It was a very long sequence of play, Dave. You are correct. So the Admiral is successful in killing a 5-on-3, a 5-on-4, and to make it all the way back even strength. And they, in parts of that, controlled some of the 5-on-3. So Stampede, yes, you were right. They had both Burns getting back on the ice after receiving 3 or 4 stitches to that left eye area. Connor Harrison receiving some medical attention for that shoulder. The hockey players are warriors. They're back out there. They don't want to miss any time.
Real battlers. True, cross to Amston. Amston backhands it in behind the net, losing it. And Silver collects it to the corner. Amston off the point, taps it back to the corner. And Silver has it still pressurized in that corner. Referee trapped in there as well. Finally, the Admirals start moving it out. Amston on the blue line, waiting for clearing the zone. Can't. And Citron loses it on the blue line. Puck rolling. Lockie Freer cross to, Pratt McCog to Freer, who takes a shot, stopped by Chuba. Another shot backhand by McCog, and stopped. Now McCog in the corner. Shot off the net, bounces behind the net. The Admirals hit the gas. Knocked off the puck on the blue line. And over the red line, fires it in, was Citron. Stampede can't get it out. Burns fires it way, lead pass to McCog. McCog shot just wide. Lucky Freer picks up the rebound in the corner. Shot, puck bouncing around in front. Freer taking another shot off a skate, bounces to the neutral zone and all the way back, forcing Burns back into his own zone. Behind the net goes Burns, rails it around, feeds Chalice accidentally on the far side. Shot, puck bouncing around, giving Admirals a really good opportunities. In the corner now, Stampede struggling to get possession. Finally, no, bounced off the puck. And it looks like Stampede are getting a delayed penalty. So they've got 6.
And a goal, deflection.
Deflection.
As they pulled the goaltender to get an extra attacker, that puck took a ricochet bounce off of someone.
You know,
shot from the point.
I've seen that pull the goalie for many years, but I've never actually seen it come to fruition like that. So unlucky for the Stampede. A delayed penalty, hemmed in their own zone, couldn't get possession to touch the puck to at least have it blown, whistle dead.
Yeah, so that draws us to a 2-2 game here, so it's tied. But the Admirals were under sustained pressure by the Stampede. The Stampede had about 4 or 5 shots continuously. They were shooting really low, barring the exception of McCog's shot went high. Maybe they've read, from Strayer's goal, let's shoot low and hard and high. But that, pulling the goalie on a delayed penalty, Admirals strike here, tying this game up.
And on the second period, which is the long skate. That's a long skate for a goaltender. So we've got a new game, 2-2. 10 minutes, 40 seconds left in this second period. And huge fans loving this, huge hits. Connor Harrison ducks through Ellis's hit, passes in front, and Sofer has it in the corner. Sofer trying to move in, centers, can't hit Strayer, shot, and great glove save by Chava there.
As Connor Harrison and Justin Daigle are just exchanging pleasantries as Daigle hit Harrison nicely into that corner area, and Harrison took exception, gave him a little whack, and Daigle lost his stick by a helpful Harrison throwing it away for him.
Yeah.
So we can see how things are heating up. This is just a little sample of these teams are playing in a final, how great the games will be.
We're halfway through this game, and it is become a very exciting end-to-end game. And once again, penalties, creating the goals. Rails it up, Freer along the boards, fire it up. It's carried behind the net. It's finally some forechecking there from the Stampede, but they can't collect it. Chamberlain marching in, loses it on the blue line, but it's still there. Had a great chance to pick it up in the slot. Finally, it's tapped to the red line. Anderson hits another Chamberlain on the red line. Freer. And here's Chalice, feeds Hart. Hart takes that shot and easily gobbled up by Joel Hasselman.
So, Dave, it's the play also, again, that leads to these shots and the shooting opportunities that, again, some people may not notice. So we have a great vantage point of seeing the neutralized play And Burns really stepped up well to eliminate that entry by Chamberlain, having a good, solid open ice hit, and as well a Stampede stepping up equally just as the Admirals are putting pressure back on them. So a lot of back and forth, a lot of hits going on here. So the physicality is starting to get up in this game.
Huge end-to-end hockey. McLeish on the red line, passes it up to Hart. Hart loses it. And Amston cross to True. True can't feed Burns, feed Bert Haynes. Chalice over the blue line. He's got Harrop gliding in. And Carson Pratt. Pratt over the blue line. Over the Admirals blue line, takes a shot, bounced behind the net. Puck rolls and leaves Daigle. Daigle hustles over that red line, hits the gas, takes that shot from the blue line. And Hasselman kicks that aside where ends up all the way down in Admiral territory. Edward Jones fires it up to Ellis. Ellis back to Edward Jones. Carries behind his own Daigle in his own zone along the boards. Feeds Henderson. And shot wide. And Connor Harrison taps it out. Daigle picks that up. Carries to his own zone. And it rolls behind the net. Connor Harrison in his corner. Can't get it out. Vesper. Good centering pass, but tapped away by Freer. Freer, great opportunity for Ellis, just over the net. Perfect positioning. And it's tapped up and out. Daigle. Stampede scrambling a bit, Ian.
A lot of pressure here by the Admirals. Good deflections, good positional play by the Admirals, looking to catch the Stampede out of position and not out in structure.
Oh.
It looks like we've got a too many men call here. The linesman's indicating 6 to the bench. So again, here are those little things in the game. We mentioned about these penalties that don't come up often, but they're starting to come up a lot more often in this game, whereas there's too many men. So the Admirals will be penalized, sending the Stampede to another power play while the game is tied 2-2. So the referees were making it very clear that they need someone from the ice to the Admirals bench. Admirals playing it a bit coy here, trying to take that steam out of the penalty in that moment.
What, me? Me?
Who do you want? Someone from the ice?
Yeah.
Not really sure who you're after anyway.
Our team? Oh, I thought it was on the other team.
Clearly the Stampede are ready to go. They have got all 5 players ready for this power play.
Yeah.
Wanting to get that
like a dog,
go-ahead
like
goal.
a dog on a chain, you know. Harrop taking the face off for the Admirals.
There's a lot of things, Dave, to say about the flow of a game, right? And the game flow has been quite intense. This second period has uplifted. So Admirals knowing that, delaying that, not allowing that momentum to continue with the Stampede. So we shall see again how this unfolds during this Stampede power play.
Behind the net, firing it up, and kept in by Amston. Beautiful glove catch, and it's fed to the corner where McCog picks it up. Amston on the blue line, shot off a shin pad. Strayer picks that up. Strayer along the boards, back to the point where Burns takes that shot, bounces off a shin, and gobbled. Second shot by Amston, gobbled up beautifully by Chaba.
Chaba does cover crease post to post, sliding from one side of the post to the other, really, really well, and he could read that play. So Amston had a bit of open ice to see that shot all the way through, but so did Chaba, making it quite a routine-looking save, even though it's not that easy to slide across at pace.
If you can see the goalie, he can probably see you. Being muscled off the puck is McCog, and it's fired all the way down. Hasselman taps to Burns, takes behind the net. Cross ice to Amston, back to Burns. Burns over the red line. Burns picks it up along the boards, still has it, and rails it behind the net where Strayer picks it up. To McCog's shot, whiffs on his shot was Lockie Freer, which isn't usual for Lockie. Cross ice, Great opportunity for Strayer. Again, just a missed.
Bunch of bodies piling up too as the McCog-Freer combo looking and hunting in front of that net as the Admirals say, this is our area, we're going to get you down. So a lot of good battles. Again, Dave, it's going to come down to these battles, and that's what wins hockey games is the 50-50 battles. If you manage to win those, more likely you're going to win that game.
Yeah, 49 seconds left in that penalty for the Admirals. By the way, Stevens is taking that penalty for the Admirals. And it's kept in. Beautiful work by Freer. And it's back to Freer's stick. Oh. Off the, I think it might have gone off a body, but it was definitely off a post as well. Huge scratching for it. Puck rolling around and finally railed up and out. Fed Ellis on the blue line. Ellis over the red line, taps it forward. And Van Sickle takes it back into his own zone. Big lead pass to Hurley. Can't quite reach it. And it bounces around in the neutral zone. Van Sickle picks that up. Cross to Connor Harrison. And it's fed up where Kennedy gathers it up behind in the corner. Marching it up, but not out. And it's stick handled nicely by the Stampede and kept in, tapped to the close corner. Battling for it. Penalty's definitely over, even. And Chamberlain behind his own net. Chamberlain starts, he's got some gas over the red line, blue line, allowed to skate in, take the shot. Big rebound, which is unusual for Hasselman. Turned over where Pratt can't control it on the red line. And Henry picks that up and fires it in. Hasselman stops it behind his net. Amston, big lead cross ice pass to Freer, who hits Pratt. Pratt can't quite hit Burns. In the corner, Burns, Pratt, and a couple Admirals as well, and Harrop ends up with it over the blue line. Harrop over the red line, wafts it in, and chases his own rebound. Puck bounces in front, knocked down. Freer hits Haynes. Haynes levels Edward Jones, but Edward Jones gets up quickly and participates in that as he fires it into Stampede area. Strayer picks up a bouncing pass on the blue line, leaves for Freer. Freer shot, puck bounces off the side of the net and almost over it. Big lead pass. Skating for it is Coyle, and Chalice was hot on his heels.
That's true. Again, another good sequence of play there, Dave, all the way through with both end-to-end action. A lot of really interesting battles and matchups within this game. We had Callum Burns battling up against Justin Daigle, the top two scoring defensemen in this league. So at the moment, Daigle is leading defensemen on goals with 7 goals and 10 assists in the last 12 games. So another one to watch.
Off a skate, can't get it out. That faceoff was to the right of Chaba. And Daigle collects it, slows things down behind his own net. Marches it up, passes it up, loses it on the red line. Chalice picks that up. Red line, fires it on net, where Burns picks it up in the corner. Little bouncing pass to Strayer on the red line. Strayer, shot, gathered up by Chava, straight on the money with that shot.
So 3:06 remaining in the second period, Dave.
Holy mackerel, that's
game
gone
is tied.
Fast.
2-2. Yes, it has been a fast period, just like the skaters on the ice. But again, lots of physical play, a lot of finishing checks, a lot of play away from the play.
Yeah, there's you talk of that game within a game. You know, every possession is so important when it's this close. Freer feeds Hurley, who feeds McCog, tries to take a shot, and it was Freer's knocked down by Regan, and I think Regan might get a little bit of a penalty.
It looks like a roughing. I mean, I would call that a hockey play. He's just finishing a check, but the hands were up, and the hands going up So indicating, okay, it looks like the stick's up in the face, so he's giving him the argument there from Regan, which he's justifiably able to do, is he's following through in his hit. The hands came up because as Lockie took the hit, his hands went under the other player's hands and forced the hands up. So it's a lot of different ways you can look at that. But again, Stampede going on the power play.
5-on-4. Just over 2 minutes left in this period. And heavy pressure from that Admirals crew. Cross ice to Amston. Amston muscles it in. Narrow angle shot. Slides all the way across the crease. Strayer cross to Amston again. McCog with it in the corner. McCog. McLeish harassing him in front. Lucky Freer again whiffs on that. That's two that he's been unfortunate. Had good opportunities, but just can't quite get a piece of it. Strayer behind the net. And it's railed up but not out. Controlled by Burns, kept in. Burns taps to Strayer. Strayer shot off the glove of Chaba. And it rolls behind the net. McLeish gives chase. And hemmed in still, but not able to get those shots. McCog takes a shot wide, back behind the net. Sofer can't control it. And McLeish gets to the puck first, but can't get it out. And it's kept in. And finally tapped to the corner. And it rolls out. And Amston takes a shot wide. Burns keeps it in. Lots of twoing in front. There's only 28 seconds left in this penalty. It's been a huge penalty kill. And to be fair, Admirals are hemmed in. They're not able to have a line change. They've done fantastic with this team. And controlled by Burns. Burns being muscled off the puck by Van Sickle. Can't quite get a piece of that as it rolled onto his stick as he was coming off the bench. Big lead pass and a great defensive move by Freer. And Edward Jones intercepts a pass and tries to skate it in. Hart, blue line, fires it on. And that well-extinguished penalty.
Yeah, that'll take us down to 37.6 seconds with a face-off in the Stampede zone, which we haven't seen a lot of in this half of this period. Dave, it's been a lot of play in the Admiral zone, likely because of the penalty, but the Admirals did well to hold off there, killing another penalty. So that penalty kill, very effective with the activeness that they've been pursuing that puck.
Very, very well done. Carson Pratt gives chase, rails it around, picked up by Haynes. Haynes, big lead pass to Carson Pratt over the blue line. Pratt, shot just on the narrow side. And again, another attempt for that tap and go. Freer, rolling puck. Puck bounces out. Regan over the blue line, takes that shot. Hasselman gathers that up, makes easy markable. Is that 5 seconds left in this second period? 2-all game, whole different atmosphere in this second period to the first.
Yeah, quite a different dynamic. I think a lot of the players are really having to adjust and in their style of play and reacting to how both teams are changing it up. Like Stampede was playing a 1-3-1 defensive shell. First period, they played a 1-2-2 so far in this second. So adjustments in the game to change the style of play to suit the circumstances that are in front of them. So that takes us to the end of this second period. 2 periods of play are in the books, folks. 40 minutes, 2-all draw. So again,
doesn't get much better than that. Third period, we got ourselves a real hockey game in this third.
Absolutely. So 1 goal scored by each team in both periods. So like first period, 1 goal scored each. Second period, 1 goal scored each. Again, special teams were a factor. And you're noticing a lot of play within the game. So this is fantastic for anyone watching these games live at home, wherever you're watching it from. We appreciate it. We thank you for that. This is the type of hockey that New Zealand is having on display.
Great display of great hockey. So we've got a third period. Big thank you to all you people that are watching, and I want to thank that all our volunteers at this time too. You know, this whole league can't run without volunteers. Not everybody can be as well paid as us announcers, Ian. You know, you get to you private jet. Did you get a private jet here, or did you just fly
you
first
know,
class?
I had my jetpack and a helicopter.
Oh,
as well.
the helicopter picked you up. Yeah, no, well, you know, it's no, big thank you to all the volunteers that help make this whole thing tick. So we'll just take a few minutes for this and for the break between the second and the third period, and we'll bring you the third period shortly. I'm Dave Dubnick, and with me is Ian Wanamaker. we're back here, the third period, very relaxed. These massage chairs that they provide for us between the periods, fantastic opportunity just to relax our muscles. Ian, I'll just wake them up and we'll start this second period, but third period. But first, wow, that second period, how amazing! End-to-end penalties.
That's
goals.
it. You won't be able to keep me asleep watching this hockey game. If you're watching this live, you are in for a treat. This third period will absolutely be exciting.
Yeah. Cullen Burns sporting a little bit more of a that scar over his eyebrow. All right, puck dropped, and we're in the third period. Admirals march it in, trying to make that centering pass. Can't. Harrison loses on the blue line. Burns picks it up. Red line. Burns takes it over blue line, skates it in. Shot deflected loosely, but it hits that low roof that we often talk about here in the Stampede Dome.
Yeah, but Burns doing well. He skated exceptionally well from his own zone into the Admirals area, and then he takes a nice low hard shot, and Chaba deflects it with his paddle of the stick, but I think Burns was looking to go far side, getting a rebound possibly for that winger crashing the net.
Little shot there from Freer off the face-off. And it's turned over and Regan skates it in. Hammers on the brakes once he passes the blue line. Henry can't collect it in front of the net, and it rolls behind the net. Hurley can't get it out, and it's fired back into the corner where True picks it up, losing it to Chris Citron. Hurley, red line, taps it in. Gives chase. Freer picks up a loose puck. Puck bouncing around in front dangerously, but gathered up by the Admirals. Citron over the blue line, dances with it. Can't quite hit Chamberlain. And it's knocked to the corner where Freer picks it up for the Stampede. Freer to True. Up to Lockie Freer. Lockie, big rink-wide pass. Just off Hurley's stick, and it ends up on Stefan's stick. Puck bouncing around in front, rolls to the corner where McLeish gives it a tap up to Hart. McLeish back with it. Starts to try to move it out over the blue line. Lead past Chalice over the blue line, taps it in. Lots of end-to-end, Ian.
Yeah, it's a lot of emphasis on getting the pucks on the tape, because anything that's missed opportunity, Stampede, we're capitalizing on and putting that pressure right back on the Admirals. As Hart just puts a big hit in. No call. That is something that's interference, if I've ever seen it.
Yeah, it's nowhere near the puck. 3 time zones away. Half hour later in Newfoundland.
Like, that is textbook interference. The puck is on the other side of the rink, and then Freer gets run over by Hart.
I don't know if perhaps Hart took offense to something earlier in the piece, which often happens, tempers flare.
But again, discipline's going to be a big factor in this period to see who's smart enough to not retaliate.
We spoke of tape to tape there. Burns missing his pass to Haynes. And the face-off in the offside circle.
Well, you're going to notice it a lot more, Dave, as this game goes on. Anytime there are little mistakes, if it's like a missed pass like that, puck possession, vital.
Yeah, everything. First to the puck. Take the body. No lazy loops if you miss the puck. Get back in the game.
Yeah, this is where defense is going to be important as well, like picking up your assignments, making sure you got a stick lifted, back checking hard.
And puck deflected out and dragging it all the way back. Daigle with it on the blue line. Daigle, quick shot, wide. Tap to the corner by Hasselman. Sofer. Back to Haynes in the corner. Haynes off the boards to Sofer. Sofer can't collect that. And the puck rolls to the neutral zone where Harrison picks it up. Freer. And big long lead shot. And easy stop for Chaba. And it's knocked back into the neutral zone. Puck. Huge offensive drive here. Huge offensive drive by the Admirals.
Yeah,
Just
again,
as
a little bit of extracurriculars in front of the net, but again, people just battling for territory. It's turnovers too, Dave. Like, it's not just getting the pass to the tape, it's also being in the right position at the right time. And if you're going to be in that spot or not in that spot and you get that puck turned over, it's gone against you.
Yep, it's going to haunt you. Strayer can't control it. Spinorama by Henderson and shot, but finally it's collected by Amston. Off the boards, big lead pass, can't hit Strayer. Neutral zone. Sofer collects. Hart, was it, I think?
Vesper,
No,
he filled in Vesper there on another open ice hit.
And Ellis with it now on his own blue line. Great skating by the Admirals, and they lose it on the blue line, and offsides the call as the Stampede try to march it over the blue line.
Yeah, Sofer with a big hit there on Vesper. Possibly a little bit of retribution for earlier in the game with Vesper taking that run at Callum Burns. Well, not really a run, it was more of the hit from behind that caused Burns to get some stitches on his eye.
Face off in the offside dot. McCog has it. McLeish can't muscle him off. McCog kind of pushes his way on and does a little sort of looks like a harmless backhand, but made enough noise on Chava's stick.
Yeah, backhands are an underrated shot, Dave. It's something that the goalie can't always track. Doesn't come off the stick the same as a forehand shot.
Face off to the right of Chava, rolls behind the net, and Citron can't clear it. Burns kicks it to Freer in the corner, and Stefan taps it around, but it's picked up by Hurley. Behind the net, big battle for it. And Hurley ends up with it. Hurley takes it to the corner, slams on the brakes, muscled by McLeish, and railed back to McCog in the corner. Back to the point. Freer fakes the shot, passes to his brother, Lockie, who takes a wide angle shot. Shot again in front. Great opportunity from front, and a great save by Chava at a point blank shot by McCog, I believe. And here's a 2-on-1. And Joel Hasselman says no to that.
Yeah, it just again goes to show you how quick that transitional game is in this rink. It's so fast, so quick. Big plays on one end. Chava with the save, the rebound. Admirals control. They come up the wall. Henry makes a play at the blue line, takes a hit. The puck gets out of the zone. 2-on-1 the other way. Good chance.
Yeah. Puck rolls to the corner for True. True fires it up. It just takes a bad bounce where Carson Pratt can't collect it, but it's icing's the call. You know, if they had that neutral zone any smaller, they'd have to combine the lines, and it would just be one solid purple line.
Well, can you imagine they put back the other rule, too, if they had the two-line pass? Do you remember when that was in effect?
Yeah.
Because then that would reduce those
stretch,
big breaks, those stretch passes. In this rink, you have a lot of opportunity to stretch past the puck. You'll see guys floating on that other blue line, waiting for that pass.
Puck finally kicked out off the face-off, and Amston has it in his own zone. Carson Pratt can't do anything with it. He's bounced off the puck. Hart actively hunting there. Nothing in that. Amston dragged down. Again, nothing in that. Sticks and bodies and everything laying around. Is that Daigle that's lost his stick and was left to just kick it around between his own legs. And Harrop on the red line. Harrop knocked the puck off him. Van Sickle taking a hit from behind by Hart. Hart did about 3 or 4 hits there in that shift. He was hunting.
He definitely was, but that one was a little bit too liberal, Dave, and he's caught Van Sickle in the kind of on that back area as well, maybe up around the head. Referee seeing that, and he's got a penalty here. It looks like the indication is from, but he hasn't finished his
he's
call. He
interrupted.
had the call going, and then he got stopped.
Yeah.
So that is from the back. That could be a 5-minute, depending on the call here. We'll just wait to see what gets put up on this penalty clock.
We'll find out. I'm very shortly.
As we've got 14 minutes and 1 second to be specific. So quite a lot of hockey left in this third period.
Yeah, great opportunity to thank our sponsors. Big thanks to SkyCity, obviously. Concrete Brothers, AWS Legal, Queen City Health, Nasto Factory, Queenstown Ice Hockey Club, the Upholstery Workshop, Impact, Eventifying, MediaWorks, Sign It, and of course, James Allen Photography, the film crew,
Awesome.
the Cook Brothers Construction.
Yeah, absolutely. Cook Brothers, I think the Glass family is still involved with that. I hope I got that correct with Simon and his involvement. I love playing against and with Simon. I'd rather play with him than ever against him. An Ice Black and a legend of the game, and legend down here in Queenstown. I'd like to shout out to Industrial Fitness, the fantastic gym down here in Queenstown. We got a little bit of discussion going on between.
Yeah, there's a little bit of. So we've got. I think we had a.
Might have a 10-minute misconduct.
Something,
possibly.
but Ellis. I mistakenly gave Hart that penalty, but Ellis is in the box. Not sure.
So they've got perhaps the wrong player. I don't know, but the referees see things and they call it in a different way. So hey, they don't have that luxury of instant replay.
So we have Stefan and Ellis in the box here on the Admiral side. And so
Stefan, is that a new player? Oh, yeah,
Steven. Sorry, Stefan. Sorry, Swedish influence. Burns keeping it in. Cross ice one time. Wide. Burns taps it into Strayer. Strayer marches in. Centers Lockie Freer. Wide. Had a bit of net there to aim at. Just a little bit wide. Burns on the red line. Cross to Amston. Amston. Blue line. Burns taps it to the corner where Strayer picks it up. Strayer. Great positioning by the Admirals, forcing out. And it rolls all the way back into SkyCity territory where Burns, but Henderson gives chase. Burns still has it. Lead pass to Sofer. Sofer. Freer taps to McCog. McCog loses it, and it's tapped all the way out. Beautiful defensive work. And Harrison taps it up to Sofer. Sofer centering it, and great glove save by Chaba.
So 12:45 here, and we've got, it has a 5-minute penalty major up on the clock here, Dave. So I'm not seeing Hart in the box, but they have his number up on the penalty screen in 3 minutes 44. So perhaps he has been given some other type of assessment. We will find out what the official wording is.
That is a misconduct, though, like that. I did see that going off the hands to the hips. And we've got heavy pursuit there by Henry, but Freer collects it. Freer pressurizes over the blue line, leaves, and Harrison loses it, where Van Sickle gives chase back into his own zone. Van Sickle waving for somebody to come out, back him up, and he leaves for Freer. Harrison rubbed out by Jones, but keeps on it. Beautiful move by Hurley. And again, fantastic work by Daigle. Daigle muscles his way past a whole bunch of Stampede players on that penalty kill. And Freer picks it up in his own zone. Big lead pass.
There'll be a Stampede penalty here as Harrison got tangled up with Daigle. Those two have been battling all game long, and Harrison, we indicated about retaliation. He retaliated and gave Daigle an extra chop on the legs.
Unnecessarily.
So he will be going to the penalty box for 2 minutes, negating a lot of that penalty that the Admirals are trying to kill. They have 2 minutes 39 in their 5-minute major. So we'll have some 4-on-4 action here, Dave. Really putting this game into a bit of a pressure cooker situation.
Yep.
As Daigle, you saw him there. He was really going for it.
11 minutes left. And, 2-all. And huge lead pass.
Bit of a set play here.
Yeah, Strayer picks a puck up behind the net, but is pushed off the puck by Edward Jones. And it's rolling around behind the net where Admirals control. Chalice rails it back around. 4-on-4. That's Harrop over the blue line. Spins, feeds Edward Jones. And it's off Lockie Freer's skate. Harrop with it now in his own zone. Harrop. Henderson over the blue line, loses it on the blue line. Freer tries to hit Sofer on the red line. Good shot by Sofer and a bouncing puck. Off blocker saved by Chubba. Beautiful move by Amston past the couple, and Chubba shuts that down. You know, we talk about, you know, goaltenders and stuff. What people don't consider is, as a player, when you make a mistake, it's just a mistake. When a goaltender makes a mistake, it's a goal. Yeah. And everybody blames the goaltender.
One of the toughest positions, often the most important. Yeah.
There could be 2 or 3 mistakes that happen.
Yeah, the saviors or the ridicule.
The demons, yep. Not happy with that puck drop. So face off again to the left of Chava. Daigle with it in the corner. Admirals on the blue line. Daigle to the red line. And pushed off the puck, but still controlling through 3 Stampede players. Beautiful work by Hasselman. And it even slipped under his pads, but it went wide. So lucky. Sofer in his own zone.
Last 10 minutes of the game here, Dave. The penalties are just winding down.
Bad pass. Chamberlain can't make the move past Amston over the blue line. Amston takes a shot off a skate and ends up centering the puck instead. Huge pressure here, both ends. And Admirals march it up. Chamberlain can't collect that. Huge, puts on the Jets. Centering, no one there to collect it, and Hasselman was way out of position. Daigle forced back onto his blue line. Feeds the corner. And it's back on the red line.
Stampede with 5 on now, Dave.
Thank you. Even. No, not even. 5-on-4. Shot just shy of the net. Where Strayer centering. And Van Sickle.
A little bit of retaliation again as Harrison, has a pop shot off the crossbar. Daigle's going to be going off for 2 minutes here. Harrison gave Dave Daigle a bit of a late check from the back as well, and Daigle didn't quite enjoy that as he could.
That's that retaliation.
And then he came over and then just filled in Harrison right in front of the referee. Probably not the best time to do that. You got to pick your moments.
Well, you should have learned, because isn't it what Harrison did moments earlier?
Well, they're both battling. There's no question about it, but we've had injury already in this game from hits from the back, and that's clear. That's something we don't want to see. But Daigle, smart enough player, he knows how to roll away from a check. Harrison taking a little, stretching that rule. But Stampede, back on the power play.
Fired all the way down. Good penalty kill. Burns with it. Burns. He's got Freer drifting on that blue line. But he hits Amston, who hits McCog on the blue line. McCog drifts it to the corner. Strayer to the corner. McCog with it. Lockie Freer behind the net. Amston just able to keep it in, but then it's tapped all the way out and around. Big feed pass by Hasselman, who hits Strayer, who hits Burns, who absolutely turns around on Moses. Harrison just fires it behind the net, flicks it behind the net. And it bounces all the way back down the ice.
50 seconds and the penalty for Daigle in the box.
Great penalty kill. Harrison over the blue line. He's got Hurley drifting in front of the net. He's got Strayer in front of the net. Tap across. Sofer one time, whiffs on it, Off a skate and tap back, and that'll be probably most of it. Nope, 30 seconds left. Where Freer is forced back behind his net. The other thing about these penalties, it tires out those lead horses. And it's railed up and around and all the way down the ice where Hasselman collects it and leaves for Freer. Big lead pass to Strayer, tangled up in the referee's skate, unlucky. And just lucky enough to get it out was huge full court press there by the Admirals.
Now we're back to even strength, Dave. 5 on 5.
Thank you. Chalice boogies along that left side. All the way down behind the net. Hammers on the brakes. Centering. And Chamberlain gets a piece of that. Keeping it in is Kennedy. And finally, rolls all the way back in onto Harup's stick on the blue line. Admirals march it in. Lose it behind the net where Amston picks it up. Fires it to the red line where Regan picks that up. Carson Pratt on the red line. Over the blue line. Tries to center, can't. Puck rolls into the slot. And kept in by Burns. Now Freer has it on his own blue line. Freer, Burns, back to Freer in his own zone. Freer, big saucer shot. And Admirals march it up. Burns collects it in his own zone, takes it behind the net. Haynes puts it up to Carson Pratt. Carson Pratt carries over the blue line and pushed off the puck by Daigle. Nice move by Daigle. Citron can't clear it. Shot, puck off a leg, bouncing. Again, shot, good gather by Chaba as he drifted across to cover that net.
5:15 in the third period. This is the big moments in the game, Dave. This is when you want your players to step up. If you're the coaches behind the bench, players will naturally want to be out on the ice. This is where you say horses, you want your stallions, you want your guys out there that want to be out there to play, to get that next goal, play that big hit, make a big shot block. That's what's going to be needed.
No mistakes. No mistakes.
You want to be responsible as well. We'll see what happens in the last 5 minutes.
But then shot, puck bouncing in front, shot again blocked. Ryan Strayer, big grin on his face. He knows that shot was blocked, unlucky. And icing is the call. Boy, that was a bit of clutter in front.
Well, you got to defend your own territory, right? You got to stay in front of your own patch and your piece. Like, you're going to need to block when you need to. Like, these are the times, like I just mentioned, in the game where you need a big block. You're going to have to put your body on the line for the team. So this is now an offensive zone faceoff for the Admirals.
Because of that.
Because of that play.
And back to Amston. Amston lead pass again. Can't hit his mark.
So a little miscommunication. Amston and Strayer talk it over there as Amston sent that puck all the way down the length of the ice, charging his team. Another icing, whereas he could have just flicked it up into neutral ice and then played from there with pressure. So
too much pepper on it.
Adjustment.
Coyle with it now. Tom Cole rails it up and around. Can't hit Strayer, but it's waved off as Admirals take it behind their own net. Both teams will be a little bit gassed, I reckon. And tapped in by Freer as Admirals set it up. Chamberlain over the red line. He's got some muscle, that Chamberlain. And Freer, Lockie Freer now. Freer. And icing's waved off. And, well.
4 minutes remaining in this third period.
All right. As Admirals fancy feed there through the bars, but not touching anything, so it's all legal. As Burns slams on the brakes behind his net. Feeds Hurley. Henderson intercepts that. Chalice picks it up on the blue line. Fires it behind the net. Or Vesper picks it up. Chalice shot.
Penalty
Puck
coming
in
here.
front. Puck bouncing around in front. Chalice.
It's a late penalty.
Chalice has it in the corner. Still has it. And fires it around the other side.
Admirals dangerous. They filled the goalie last time and scored in this very
They did.
situation.
Chalice with it. Chalice shot. And that Stampede trying to collect the puck just to get the whistle.
Possible timeout here as well. If I'm the Admirals, I'd be wanting to have a timeout. Get your, well, maybe not, but it's a power play situation. 3 minutes to go in this game. You have 2 minutes of a power play. Probably want to give your team a bit of a instruction here, or do you let them go? What's the call? He is going to call the timeout. He's indicating it now. There you go.
Yep, geez. Coach Wanamaker just foresought that call. So, timeout is called by the Admirals.
May have been in this game once or twice.
Yeah.
You know, been around.
Not your first rodeo. This the other thing I talk about is reminding you that this is 3 of 6 periods that they'll be playing over the weekend. So you look at them and they look a little bit gassed. Less than 24 hours, they've got to do this all over again. You know
yes.
what that's
you say
like.
that. You do say that, but these are athletes. They're trained. This is what they're playing for. There's only 16 games in this season. I'm not playing 82 games here, Dave. So it's more manageable than you think. Like, it's only one game. Yeah, okay, you play hard, but of course you play hard every game. That's why you have a team. You've got depth in a team, so guys step up in different moments. So I hear what you're saying, but you got to keep playing. You're an athlete, so you want to win. If you want to win, you show that desire in your heart. Like someone will step up in those moments.
There will be a few bumps and bruises that they'll be nursing after this one. That's for sure.
Well, how many championship teams don't ever have bumps and bruises? So put it into context. 3 minutes here.
All right. Opportunity for Admirals on the point. Daigle. Cross ice. Back on the blue line. Henderson. Across the heart. Back to Daigle. Daigle takes the shot just wide. Puck still loose. As Strayer just clears it out.
And say that wide. That's sometimes a deliberate play to play it off the back wall so you can get a rebound in front when the penalty kill isn't blocking your lane for a shot.
So we're looking at 2 minutes and 35 seconds left. 2-all game. Penalty. Stampede are trying to kill this penalty. And there's 1 minute, 16 seconds left. Back to Daigle on the point. Shot on net and cleared out. Blocked by Daigle nicely on that neutral zone. So you can march it back in. Blue line. Daigle across to Henderson. Daigle. And tapped out by Sofer.
Bit of a missed pass there by Ellis, and then the Stampede sent it away.
42 seconds left in the penalty. 1 minute and some change left in this game. In the third period, sorry. And railed it up and around. Nicely done. Giving them a chance to change. And
bit of an errant play there.
McCog.
Chaba gave him the puck.
Yeah, hunting there. And True. McCog hunting heavily there for the puck.
Again, a little bit of miscommunication. Someone might possibly go to the box here. He had his hand on top of the puck, so that is going to be a penalty. 2 minutes, delaying the game. So, yeah, McCog will go and sit in the box as we got 1 minute, 16 seconds, and there is still 5 seconds remaining in Mitchell Freer's penalty.
Max McCog is trying to explain that he was batting the puck. Referee Decker says he covered the puck. So that's what he.
Well, there's a clear difference. Like if you cover the puck with your hand and palm
is illegal
inside of the opposition's area, like for a longer period of time, the ref says move it, and he doesn't, you're going to get penalized. Again, we've said this before about this game, how there's some unusual penalties. This is really putting the pressure on everyone, like referees as well, like knowing the rule book and making the calls. They got to enforce those rules. So Admirals, they got to big opportunity right now with a 5-on-3. This is their first 5-on-3 of this contest. Stampede, they had one earlier in the game. They weren't successful on that. They could not score.
So we're gonna, yes, it's gonna be for all the marbles here with 1 minute 16 seconds left in this huge opportunity for the Admirals. I don't remember how often, but it's not been often that they've actually beaten the Stampede at home, which is, like I say, you're playing against this entire crowd as well. All right, 5-on-3, Vesper, Regan, Ellis, Henderson, Daigle. Sofer facing off for the SkyCity Stampede. Firing it up and around.
It's a good face-off win by Sofer there.
And we're back to 4 now for the Stampede. So Regan over the blue line. Still controlling. Skates it around behind the net. Ends up on Daigle's stick on the blue line. And off the net, which is...
It's deflected off a Stampede stick, so that face-off will stay inside the Stampede zone with 46.5 seconds left in the third period. We'll have to see if this game does not get concluded in 3 periods of play, if that penalty will carry over into overtime.
Interesting. All right. Win back to Daigle. Daigle on the blue line. And puck rolling around in the high slot. And finally, Strayer trying to tap it out. And Vesper does a great job of controlling it, taking it off Strayer. And it's railed back around. Slapped around to Henderson to the corner. And
given away here.
Sofer can't get it out. And a high shot back onto Henderson's stick.
That shot blocked by Strayer, shatters his stick.
And it's fired all the way down the ice with only no time left, so that'll be it. Holy moly, we got ourselves a real hockey game.
So that is the end of 3 periods of play. That's 60 minutes of hockey, Dave. And the score is locked at 2 goals apiece for the SkyCity Stampede and the West Auckland Admirals. And we will be heading into overtime shortly, with 44 seconds still remaining in the Max McCog penalty delay of game. This could be deciding the game. Possibly that penalty maybe resulting in an Admirals goal. We shall see in overtime. You know, anything can happen.
So we have just a short break. No grooming of the ice. Just a quick rest. Quick conversation with the coach, by the coach. And then back on for this.
So this is where you can pick a winner here, Dave, if you want. Who's going to score in the overtime? I never like doing these, but just if it's something that you ever thought of doing, being a local man that you are.
I don't know.
Are you going to lean toward? So I'm going to challenge you then. Who would you pick on the Admirals as the goal scorer? And I'll pick for the Stampede.
Well, I reckon Daigle. I mean, that's kind of a safe bet.
Okay.
He's although defense, he's just in there all the time, you know.
Well, if you went Daigle, then I'd have to go with the other defensive
yeah,
stalwart.
Strayer.
Oh, no, I wasn't say Strayer. His stick just broke by Henderson's slap shot that he blocked. So I'm not going to go with him. He's probably got a new stick, hasn't used it all game now. He's going to be probably getting used to that. I would rather go, I'm going to go Burns, Callum Burns.
Burns, all right. Yeah, well, and how about on the Admirals?
Oh, okay. If you've already taken Daigle, then I'd say he's going to pass it off, and he's going to feed someone. Who's the shooter on the Admirals that they've got out there right now? Ellis.
And then Strayer's my pick for the. After seeing last weekend. All right, we'll see what happens anyway. Boy, oh boy.
We'd love to see one of the guys that are celebrating their 100th game get a goal, get that game winner. Like, game winners are hard to come by. Trust me, I know. There's a couple that are by my name, but like these are the ones that matter and that are important, especially the ones in finals, semifinals, like big moments like this. This should be what guys play for, or women. We got a shout out to the Wakatipu Wild as well, taking 2 games away from the Auckland Steel. So well done to the Wakatipu Wild women.
Coached by Colin McIntosh, who's sorely missed here this year by the
So 4-on-3, Dave.
Yeah.
The penalty carries
Jeez,
on.
Tough luck.
Big face-off win by the Stampede.
So Daigle with it in his own zone. Marching it out. Sofer pinching a bit. Daigle.
Tic-tac-toe and a goal. Ellis, wow, what a play by the Admirals.
20.
Daigle over to Henderson, and the man I called
Yeah.
scores the goal.
You're right. Just what you called. That was 23 seconds into that period, but that was obviously well rehearsed. Beautiful play, excellent work, and that puts the Admirals ahead in this series.
So Admirals take game 1 of the weekend here down in Queenstown with a 3-2 overtime win, showcasing the importance of special teams once again as they score on the power play in overtime. Stampede fans, you cannot hang your heads here at all from this defeat. You have witnessed some of the best hockey so far this season with a lot more to come. So if you've been watching this on the live stream broadcast, we'll be doing this all again tomorrow evening, Dave.
Yeah, same thing all over again. Muscle and strength. That was such a beautiful goal. Back, forth, over and down and in.
That's one of those ones that you almost draw up as a coach. You want that to happen, and it did in that situation. And good on the Stampede. They won that last face-off, sent the puck down, killing some valuable time. Admirals came up, pretty collected, gained entry to the zone, set it up.
Chose their moments.
And they chose, that's it. Like, again, big players step up in those big moments, and that's who the Admirals had on the ice. They're bigger players, and it's quite exciting stuff. So, again, we want to see what happens again as players make their handshakes with the referees and the opposition. They'll review tonight, have a think about it, and then reset all again for tomorrow.
All tomorrow night, absolutely. So 3-2 in overtime. Well done, Auckland Admirals. So 7 o'clock tomorrow night. Ian, we'll see you there. Looking forward to it. I'm Dave Dubnick, and with me is Ian Wanamaker. Thanks for listening.
Ka kite ano.